Hey guys, my name is Ryan and welcome to Overwatch Central. So we actually have a bit more news to cover today. Of course, we have some skins to show you guys as well. We're just going to cover some stuff that we never really actually had the chance to at the weekend and stuff that's happened since. But of course, we must start with the new skin that was revealed. Pajamei skin, which we actually saw come out last night. And it's not my favourite, honestly. It's okay, but I think that's just because I don't play much Mei, but no doubt we'll see a lot of Mei running around competitive Overwatch in her new pajamas as she just completely decks everybody with the new changes that are coming out on the live servers at the same time as the Retribution event. I guess the first bit of news that I really want to highlight in this video is what Jeff Kaplan actually said about role queues. The idea of a role queue is fairly simple. If you want to play tank, you queue up as a tank player, and basically you don't get put with 5 other tank mains in your team, which seems to be happening a lot more recently as well, which is a bit bizarre, certainly from my perspective that plays a lot of tank and supports, not really DPS, that I get matched up with a lot of support or tank mains and they don't make for the best games, so to speak. But Jeff Kaplan actually spoke about this and he actually went on to basically say this. There's 2 versions the community have proposed and neither is fully satisfactory to me. One is the honor system version where I queue up as a tank, but actually I want to play McCree and the game lets me do that since Overwatch is very much about fluidity responding to the enemy team's composition. The other version is that it locks you in. I think that also hurts the spirit of the game. Hurting the spirit of the game is the sort of main takeaway that a lot of people have seen with this article. Goes on to say that they're good starting points, but they're flanked by minefields, and this is actually a video that we did quite some time ago actually as well, saying that role queue causes more problems or adds more hurdles into the game than really is necessary. It causes more issues than it fixes. He goes on to say like the World of Warcraft example where if you queue into a dungeon or raid as a tank or a support, you instantly get a queue, whereas DPS you're waiting around for 20 to 30 minutes. So Blizzard don't really want to do that because they know that DPS players aren't going to wait in queue the whole time to play a game of Overwatch. But again, they want to put more emphasis on playing as part of a group and, you know, grouping up within the game. And frankly, I'd say that's Blizzard's biggest problem. Blizzard have kind of indirectly made grouping up really hard to do. 6 stacking isn't really a thing that people can do, and queuing up bigger groups than 4 or 5 just means that the games can be somewhat unbalanced, both in or against your favour. And certainly when you get to the highest tiers, it just turns into an absolute mess. So it's interesting to see Jeff Kaplan actually talk about this, saying that role queue isn't the way to go, but it does look like they want to incentivize grouping up within Overwatch in competitive, and hopefully that's something that they can try and fix. Not necessarily sold on the idea of a team queue, but something along those lines might be pretty good. And another thing I suppose I really wanted to highlight, Griffin, who was one of the community managers for Overwatch, someone I actually got to hang out with at BlizzCon last year, and was the person that streamers and players would go to with video evidence of somebody throwing in their games, and Griffin would try and sort it. He recently left Overwatch and the Blizzard team, and went on to say this as well actually, which I do want to highlight. He doesn't work for Blizzard anymore, so he can finally say this: anyone who doesn't work as a team when picking heroes deserves to be reported. Don't one-trick anything, it's selfish and a shitty thing to do to others. Now there's no word set in stone here. He's not obviously speaking for Blizzard, he's just giving his own personal opinion, but why I wanted to highlight it is, as I said, Griffin is the kind of person that deals with a lot of the issues with people sending in video footage of a Tobian on your team jumping off the map or throwing. It would most likely be Griffin chasing it up if you sent it to him on the Overwatch channel, so it used to be at least anyway. So he's had a good amount of experience with the amount of problems that you see in game, and for him to have this impression and this opinion would suggest to me that it's quite a big reason to why the game can be so toxic. Hopefully the new system, which is going to come in on Tuesday as well, hopefully the new system that comes in on Tuesday with the addition of avoiding players dynamically allows you to just avoid the one-trick players that you run into. Nobody wants to play with the Symmetra one-trick on your side because it does feel like you're playing 5v6, but again, this is my opinion. I don't think it should be reportable if you one-trick heroes because frankly it differs for every single hero. But I don't want to play on a team with people that are very selfish and can't, you know, work as part of a team in a game like Overwatch. What's the point in playing a team game in the first place? There was also a decryption as well come in from the Overwatch Twitter about McCree, very similar to the Reaper one that we went over last time. Doesn't really say anything interesting. We went over that Michael Chu sort of hinted that Sombra was actually decrypting these assessment files and these debriefs, and that's a big part of the story and what's happening around the Overwatch Archives mission. And finally, kind of the elephant in the room, so to speak, is the stuff happening at Boston Uprising with Dreamcasper being suspended for the foreseeable future as he's investigated into some very serious allegations, to be fair. It's something that we don't really want to talk about much on this channel or really highlight, but it is news, it is stuff to cover. But currently Dreamcasper is going to be suspended. The Overwatch League are going to be looking into this, and I'm sure we'll get more information as time goes on. But I did want to highlight it, but that's all I really want to say on the matter. But let's look to the good stuff. The event is going to be tomorrow. We have some more skins that we've shown off in this video, some interesting news, and hopefully there'll be more that comes out after this event, and more information, more lore I feel as well. It's going to be really good for the game as we start to get forward direction, forward momentum with the news coming out of the Overwatch universe. Thank you very much for watching. Like and subscribe if you haven't already. Really helps out the channel. And until next time, take care. We'll see you then.